Welcome to our practice. We're going to find a comfortable sitting posture as a foundation of the practice. And sometimes comfortable means you are in a not so aligned position, maybe hunching down, and that is okay. But gradually find your alignment from that comfort to slowly going outside of the comfort and then find a comfort again in the upright seated posture. And when the body is grounded, start to cultivate a deeper sense of relaxation. You can do so by changing the way you breathe, maybe a little slower, a little deeper. And notice the subtle change and shift in your body as you change the way you breathe. And take inventory of that. Take a note of the entire mechanism. How you initiate a breath. And when that breath changes, longer and slower, your physical experience changes. Just that little bit, subtle difference is captured by you. Then begin cultivate your attitude of complete acceptance. Whatever comes up, a physical sensation, an emotion, a thought, an intense thought, anything and everything, they all can come to the present, allowing them. Take a deep breath in them. And then when you exhale, allow your body and mind to rest in them. You're not escaping and running away from them. You're also not engaging, agreeing, or disagreeing with them. You acknowledge their existence. And then you rest, ground. Allow them to exist. Any moment you're lost in thought, be aware of that, embrace that, accept that. And that is part of the practice as well. There's no good about wandering thought. There's also no bad about wandering thought. And rest, ground in the middle of your wandering thoughts. You're not running away from it. You're not suppressing it or trying to get rid of it. You're also not engaging with it. Try to understand it. Try to think it through. None of that. You're also not making judgment about it, putting labels on it. None of that. You're simply aware of them and then rest in the middle of them. Whether rest means you take a deep breath and slowly let the air flow out, or rest means you jiggle the body, shake out the tension, and reset into stillness. Whatever it means to you. Ground, rest, and allow them to happen. Observe every single thing that comes to your consciousness. You're like a mirror. You're not doing any engaging, but reflecting anything that is in front of you, just the way they are. This is not purely a relaxing practice. The reason is that you're sitting tall. If purely relaxed, you would be laying down. So the body is staying alert. The mind is at ease, calmness. And that stillness, calmness of the mind enables the stillness and calmness of the body. The alertness and freshness of the body enables the alertness and freshness of the mind. When you're sitting upright, you're making the space for the oxygen to come into your lungs. You breathe a little better. The front of the chest have more space for the muscle to stretch, contract, and for you to breathe. That's the fresh energy, prana, you're gaining from the outside environment. And that is keeping you to have the clarity. And all you need to do in the mind is to relax and ground in the midst of the chaotic thoughts, the midst of the discomfort in the body. And maybe one day or a certain moment, you find you experience ease, comfort, joy, clarity without any effort. That's not something we aim for or chase for, but it will come to you one day. Then it will go away again. It will come back again. On your next inhale, slowly expand your body to all directions. And then when you exhale, soften, gentle movement, let everything go. You can wiggle your spine left and right, forward and back, shoulders, elbows, wrists, fingers. And we're going to review our next Yoga Sutra. We're still in the first chapter, Samadhi Pada, and we just finished the Abhyasa Vairagya, the practice of non-attachment. Today we're going to the 17th sutra. It says, Vitarka Vichara Ananda Asmita Anugamat Samprajñata. So basically, this sutra is starting to introduce the Samprajñata Samadhi. The Samadhi is a profound meditation that we experience sometimes. And in 8 limbs of yoga, we have limbs all the way provide us. The 8th limbs of yoga is samadhi. Sometimes samadhi is translated as concentration. Sometimes samadhi is translated as profound meditation. Sometimes samadhi is interpreted as the goal of yoga, which provide a lot of hindrance, can be true in a certain way. So that's the samadhi. And what is samprajñata samadhi? So it's basically, prajna is wisdom, and samprajna is basically the, more wisdom, more, in here we're saying distinguishing or discerning samadhi. And then samadhi here is translated as contemplation. Contemplation is different than thinking really, really hard on something. When you put contemplation in the Chinese translator, the direct translation is to think really hard on something, think it through. But in yoga or meditation practice, we don't use the brain to think through, use a logic. Rather, we let that complete at ease and rest, and use our body to experience that. The wisdom is lying within the body. You just need to find it, experience it, instead of learning. Yeah, you can learn, but those are knowledge that is good for us to deal with the outside world. But the inner knowledge is always with you. Since the day you were born, it's always going to be there when you die. So that's the wisdom. That's the prajna that we want to unfold and experience. So in here, Samprajñata Samadhi is accompanied by reasoning, reflecting, rejoicing, and pure I amness. This is the translation of Satchidananda, but basically Vitarka Vichara is reasoning and reflecting. Ananda and Asmita. So Asmita here is saying something pure consciousness or pure I amness. But in the second chapter, Asmita is one of the 5 mental afflictions. So anything has a coin always have 2 sides. It's important for us to see both sides and also see from the third side and also see from numerous sides. That's about perspective. When you're fixated from one perspective, that's where a lot of dukkha can be created. Because anytime when you see, oh, actually there's a black swan or there's other side of the coin, you take it offensive. Or what I believe is true is only this side of coin, right? But when you expand your perspective, when you withdraw your own sense of self away from this concept, you can develop the distance from you and those things that you used to identify as, because they're not you, and you can have a full direction, 360, probably even more direction to look at this object. And that's asmita, pure I amness in here, the pure consciousness. And in the second chapter is translated as self-grasping, right? And then anugamat is due to the following or from accompaniment. So that's what Samprajñata Samadhi, Vitarka Vichara Ananda Asmita. And I think in this Samadhi Pada, we'll also learn about Asamprajñata Samadhi as well. So yeah, that's the 17th sutra. Thank you for reviewing that with me. We'll bring the palms together, chin down. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Oh, may all beings be happy and free. May my thoughts, words, and actions can help make this happen. Namaste.